What is up, Tiger Gang? It's JT here from the Poco Moonshine family. This is Chatting with Carnivores, and today we are here with John from Carnivore Backwoods. How's it going, John?
It's going good. I'm glad to be on here, JT.
Yeah, man, I'm glad to have you on. I'm a big Homestead fan, man, and I especially today, you guys. He put out a video, man. He's rolling up in the tractor, and it's just really cool, man. Like I'm jealous. I don't have a homestead, and I don't know how to do half that stuff. So I like watching you guys do all that. Um, but let's start things out, John. Where are you from, and where are you at now?
Well, originally I was born in Southern California in the little city of Los Angeles.
Oh yeah.
But I was raised in Lake Tahoe and Reno, Nevada, most of my life, and then I moved out here to Tennessee permanently about 10 years ago.
Okay, so the homestead's down in Tennessee, huh?
Yes, sir. I'm right here in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains.
Wow. Is it nice and muggy down there today?
No, it was gorgeous today.
Really? Yeah, it was real hot and muggy up here today in Wisconsin.
Oh, it was gorgeous today. We're out there, not a lot of humidity. I came over to a friend's house and we did some work on their flight cage for their owls and raptors. They run a raptor owl rehab center, and
Really?
they're building a flight cage. So I came over and laid a bunch of gravel down on the
Wow.
flight cage for
So you're a good guy to know, man.
them.
You know how to do some stuff, and that's nice of you to help them out. I love people helping birds and stuff, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm talking to them about starting their own YouTube channel because they should. They probably got 50 birds around here that they're rehabbing right now.
You guys use any of those like bat houses where like it's like there's no boards from halfway down, just halfway up, so the bats can go in there and stuff. I seen one of those once when I was on.
Yeah, those are around here. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you use that on your property at all? I know it's got nothing to do with carnivore. I just was curious.
No, absolutely, because you keep bats around, it keeps away the mosquitoes, and
Mosquitoes, yeah. Yep.
yeah, you want to get rid of the mosquitoes around here because they'll eat you up.
Yeah, you guys, he's a real homesteader. Right now, he's doing his live stream off of his solar panel energy. Like he's not messing around, man. He's not tapped into we energies. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Here, let's see. We already got some hey from South Carolina. Hey Susan.
Hey, Susan.
Carnivore dog sitter. Hi JT and John. Love Tennessee. She loves Tennessee. I've never been down there, John.
You got to come down. I live about I don't know, about 45 minutes. There we go, from Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, where everybody likes to come down here, Dollywood, all that. So I'm not far from there. I live way out in the country, hence the name Backwoods. But
Yeah.
I love it here.
So how did you grow up, John? How'd you grow up as a kid?
So in the 80s, my parents got tired of Los Angeles, and we moved up to Lake Tahoe, California side, South Lake Tahoe, and I spent 6 years living in Tahoe, which was probably some of the best years of my childhood. And then from there, they decided to move on to the Nevada side, and we moved down into Carson City, and we lived in the desert for quite a while. Um, I've call Reno my home. I don't consider Los Angeles my home because I really don't. Other than going there on visits, I don't remember it from a kid because I was only about 6 years old when we moved. Mm. And my dad was from Tennessee. Now, originally, he was born over here in Loudon, Tennessee, which the house he was born in is, the location is actually underwater now. It's part of that Tellico Parkway Lake that they got over there, and really? They put all that underwater.
Wow.
But yeah, I got family roots all through Tennessee, all of East Tennessee, the Appalachians. We're all a bunch of Scotch Irish. So,
how did you get into homesteading?
Well, I had a property in Nevada where I was raising hogs, I was raising pigs, and we were doing some farming. I was doing the farmers markets, and we were making sausage and selling it, and we USDA inspected, doing all that. But then we decided that we wanted out of the desert. The wind blew there, and it was dry, and it was just miserable. And we, the market, had crashed, and we decided we wanted to get out of the desert. So we moved out here with the sole plan of buying property, and it took us, 8 years before we finally found a property that we liked. And then it was all woods. I think I got some videos from years ago when we first came out here and looked at the property, and the whole property got about just under 15 acres, and it's all wooded. Some point in time, not in the last 30-40 years, it was probably a pasture field, but it's all grown up in woods now.
Wow.
So we're just cutting ourselves out. We want a little cabin, not a big cabin. We want about 1,000 square foot, and we probably will raise a few animals, but I don't think I'm going to do any major scale farming anymore, because that becomes like a second wife. You're married to it.
Mm-hmm. You really are. Richard Williams, good evening from Copper Hill, Tennessee.
Hey, Richard. See, I got family all over Copper Hill, Tennessee, Blue Ridge. So he's right there in the stomping grounds of all my family. He pops in on some of my videos I've had up.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Richard. Thanks for supporting John. Amber and Dan's Carnivore Life. Hey, y'all. We're in the middle of Hurricane Hillary. Oh, boy. Prayers to you guys. Yeah, hopefully you guys do all right. Hey, from Wyoming. Everybody's all over tonight, huh? Oh, no, Amber, Dan. Yeah, hopefully Amber and Dan, you guys stay tuned to the news and stay aware out there. Lucia! Amber and Dan, I drove from Puerto Rico, Phoenix today, bringing the wind with me. No rain allowed. Okay, yeah, if you guys got questions for John, definitely let me know. Hi, Susan. Hi, Woodster. Yes. Now, I want to know, yes, definitely hit the like button for John, because the more you guys do, that helps get his story out there. How did you get into carnivore, John?
Well, it's kind of a funny story. So, I was digging around the YouTube looking for information on some gardening I had planned on doing. I'm planning on planting a garden this year, and I follow a YouTuber by the name of Roots and Refuge, and I can't think of her name. I should have wrote it down, but I've been following her channel off and on for years, and she's got some really good information on there. And she popped in February, on an update on her health. And I had noticed that she was losing weight, and, and you could see it, in her videos. And then she went into a whole spiel, and I posted the link of it in the video I posted today, about her, getting introduced to carnivore and how it, put her autoimmune conditions in reverse, and how it took her out of pain that she'd been dealing with for years, and the whole 9 yards. And I really encourage you to go watch the testimony, because it's a really good testimony to the carnivore. She still gardens, she's still doing that, so she's probably more of a ketovore, but it's still good information.
Mm-hmm.
And so from there, I was curious. Somebody's telling me I can eat beef, bacon, butter, and eggs, and I'm going to lose weight. And I'm like, I've been eating that all my life. I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah.
So I started deep diving into it. I found Ken Berry's site, and he's got over 400 videos or something like that on there. And so I binge watched a lot of his videos, getting information. And then I decided March 1st, I said, okay, we're going to give this a try. And both me and the wife both started the same day. She's 100% there with me. And we've been eating, primarily meat, steaks, hamburgers. We do some fried chicken that we don't season. We just fry it up in lard. It's really good that way. A little salt, and it's good to go.
Wow.
Bacon, butter, eggs, repeat
Are
every
they
day.
chicken wings? Or are they like skinlets? Or
We're doing thighs and legs,
thighs and legs? Okay.
But we also do chicken wings from time to time, for a difference. But it's really good. If you've seen the YouTube channel Butter Bob,
No,
you have to look it up. You have to look it up, because he's like one of the original carnivores from years ago, and he had a really popular channel. But he got a lot of hate at the time, and so he stepped away from YouTube, but all his videos are still up, and they're really good. He goes into, he got a song called Butter Made My Pants Fall Off. I mean, it's some good stuff. You have to go look it up. Butter Bob.
Butter Bob.
And that's where I found he was frying chicken, in lard. And then when he took it out, he would actually take some butter and garlic, and he would drizzle it over the chicken, which gave it, more fat, obviously, and a little bit of salt. And, he said, what's it, butter makes my pants fall off. And what's his other thing is, lard makes you lean.
Yeah, man. Chafee says, like he had a video and whipped off his shirt, and he's like, dude, man, fatty meat doesn't make you fat, man. It makes you lean, and
Yeah.
I believe him. He only goes to the gym like what, once a month, he says. Like, it's
And the, and
wild.
the dude's ripped.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
wild. Like, I'm just doing dumbbells and just little stuff, and I'm still losing weight. Like, you really don't even have to work out crazy on this diet. I mean, it's a wild.
No, the first month or so before the weather got hot, I was doing a lot of walking at the park. But once the weather got hot, I was like, yeah, never mind with that. And I haven't exercised at all. Though I did pick me up some resistance bands because I want to build up some of my upper body strength. But that's when I feel like doing it. I'm not, nothing's making me do it. And I'm definitely not doing it, to lose weight.
How long do you do the resistance bands when you do them?
20, 30 minutes.
20, 30 minutes.
Yeah. I'm just working on upper body. I'm not trying. I just want to build up my upper muscles again because I've lost a lot of it over being fat. So.
My wife says I got to work my legs. She says I got kind of chicken legs. So hopefully she doesn't fry them up in lard and salt them, So what is like a normal week of eating look like?
Steak and eggs. I mean, that's the primary. I primarily do OMAD, one meal a day. I like ribeyes. If I can find them on sale, I buy them as much as I can. I've cleared out the grocery store's refrigerator at times. I've walked in there and then left out with 10 packs of ribeyes or, whatever, multiple packs.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can get those, that's my primary, but we'll also pick up, sirloin. I'm not a big fan of New York's, but we'll pick up sirloins. I've been picking up chuck steaks, and they're if you got a Food City near you, this is an amazing deal. They're on their 5 for $20 deal, so you pick up 5 chuck steaks for $20. So you're paying $4 a steak, and they're a little bit more chewy, but they're cut perfectly. They're just about under a pound. And they work good. Now, if I'm eating meat that's low on fat, I'll just add butter to it.
Add a lot of butter.
And then I like 4 to 5 eggs with my steak. In the beginning I was eating a lot more. I've kind of leaned out a little bit now, where I don't feel the need to eat as much. Mm-hmm. In the morning, I don't, if I'm like on Saturday morning, sometimes I'll have eggs and bacon. I'll go to a restaurant and I'll order 3 eggs over medium and 6 pieces of bacon, and that's it. And that'll be my morning routine. But mostly it's just steak and eggs. The wife likes to change things up, so we'll do the fried chicken, once a week or so. And it's just, beef, butter, bacon, eggs, repeat.
Yeah, no, that's honestly my favorite is the bacon and the eggs. But I've just started. I was telling John earlier before the interview, I just started Lion Diet today, so I'm looking forward to eating a whole bunch of damn steak. So
I cook 3 pounds of bacon at a time. I got a Blackstone grill, and I'll lay 3 pounds of bacon down and cook it up at a time. And the surprising thing is I can keep a bag of bacon in the refrigerator, for snacking on if I need to, because I make so much of it that we're not going to eat it all in one sitting.
Yeah, cut a video of that, man. People love watching bacon cook, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. How are your cravings? Like, do you feel like you had worse cravings before you went on carnivore diet, or do you think now that you're restricted to just meat and eggs and stuff, are your cravings worse than ever?
No, I don't have any cravings whatsoever. Wow. The first week, I struggled with soda, back in March, but I went hardcore carnivore right off the get go. I didn't milk it. I didn't try to slow it out. I just said, I'm done. And I didn't eat anything. I didn't have any sodas. I didn't have any sugars since March 1st. And shut it down. So cold turkey just went that direction. So the first week, you get some cravings and stuff, but after that it went away.
Yeah, for me it was the first 5 days, and I was weaning myself off of eating the burgers with ketchup. I was so used to eating French fries and burgers with ketchup. And I don't know if any of you guys tried sugar-free ketchup. It is horrible.
It's full of garbage.
Yeah, it's not even ketchup. So I said I'd rather just either have ketchup the way I remember it, or just not have it at all. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. Hey John, I just subscribed to your channel. Susan, thank you, Susan.
Thanks, Susan.
That's awesome. Let me pull his channel back up here again. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We do have a question. Yeah. Anybody other questions for John? Let me know. Question, John. What was your starting weight? And I missed it, but how long have you been carnivore?
So my starting weight was 345, 36. I've lost my track now. Get my brain fried here. 345. Excuse me. 345 pounds is my starting weight. I'm now at 285.
Wow, that's great.
You know, I've been struggling the last 2 weeks with my weight. I came off of my HCTZ, which is a blood pressure medicine. It's also a water pill, so you take it in the morning. Half an hour later, you're in the bathroom. Reducing your water intake. And so I think I bloated up a little bit on water, but it's all balanced out now. I'm back down to where I was. I'm losing inches. I'm maintaining 285, but I'm losing inches. I'm leaning out, which is really cool. So I'm obviously putting on some muscle. And I expect at some point that'll happen, and then I'll have a major drop in weight again.
Are you using measuring tapes?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. It's because the scale sometimes isn't a good indicator. I either use both of them or use none of them and just go off how you feel and how you're looking in the mirror. You know what I'm saying?
I tell everybody, use the tapes. Just get a measurement on yourself, because the scale's going to lie to you. The scale's going to say, look, you didn't do nothing today, and you did all kinds of stuff. Your body's changing.
Yeah, no, he's got great advice there, guys. Richard Williams, I got started on carnivore with Butter Bob. Hey, there you go. He got started on Butter Bob.
But I'm telling you, JT, you need to look up Butter Bob, and he actually lives here. He lives in Tennessee. He's over in the Nashville area. He's not dead. No, there's rumors of that, because you know how the internet is.
He ate a lot of butter and stuff. Isn't he dead?
So everybody just assumes he's dead because he's no longer on the internet, because that's a good line. But the fact of the matter is he's active. You can actually look him up. He's got a garden center, and I can't remember exactly, but I searched it because I wanted to know when I was doing all my research. He's still very skinny, very lean, and doing good. And he's over. I think he's in the Nashville area.
Nashville. That's cool. I'll have to definitely check them out. Let's see what else we got here for comments. Hey, y'all, how's the day treating you? Well, me and John are doing great. I know that for sure. Hopefully, Lucia, and it has to be Heinz ketchup. No other will do. Yeah, yep. And my favorite was always the glass bottles that I had to shove the butter knife in to get it started. Otherwise, you could have it upside down forever, and it just no ketchup comes out. That was my favorite. But hey, John, what does your doctor say? What are your numbers looking like? All that stuff. What's the medical side?
Well, that's an interesting story. So July 10th, I went in for my labs, and had a conversation with my doctor, and let's just say she had the deer in the headlights look. She was completely concerned. She was trying to convince me that I was going to have to start taking Metamucil because I had to have fiber in my diet. And when I was prepared and had some information to provide her that said, no, that's not true. I don't think she could have got out of the room any faster. You have your labs done. They're normally within, 24 to 48 hours, they call you and say, hey, this is your labs, blah, blah, blah. Your cholesterol is high. We want to put you on statins. That's normally what they tell you, right? I mean, if you ever had your labs in a doctor, the first thing they want to do is call you back and put you on statins. Mm-hmm. Well, it took a month before I got that phone call.
Really? So
I'm looking around for a metabolic doctor, somebody in the area. There's not a lot of them, but I'm looking for a new doctor. I made a comment on somebody's page the other day about how I dropped my doctor because they weren't metabolically compliant. And that's what it is. I mean, they're so sold into the, oh my God, you got to have fiber, you got to do this, you got to do that, that when you actually turn your health around, they don't know what to do.
Yeah, you're defying all the odds, and it probably just challenges everything they believe in, and that's why she probably wanted to run out of the room. She didn't have to answer anything. I finally
Hmm.
started dropping again, Twin Maple says, after 2 months stall. 3 more pounds and I will be at 40 pounds lost. Good for you, Twin Maples. Wouldn't you say, John, you just got to stay in there and stay
You just,
consistent?
yeah, you just got to stay consistent. I mean, you honestly watching your pound. Did you watch your pounds as you got fat? No. No, you
No.
weighed yourself every once in a while when you got fat.
Or you just could tell your pants were tighter and your
Yeah,
belly
your
was
pants are
bigger.
tighter. But I mean, if you think about it, you don't weigh yourself when you're getting fat. But somehow, when we get dieting, we want to weigh ourselves every day, and then we're discouraged because, oh my goodness, the scale didn't change, or oh my goodness, I'm 2 pounds up from yesterday. Well, that's all garbage. You could be retaining water. You could be doing a lot of things. You could, have a little bit of a cold. There's a lot of things that'll affect your weight. So you just got to keep focus.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I tell people measure and see what you're going on. If your pants are getting looser, it don't matter what the scale says. You're losing weight, and muscle weighs more than fat.
It does, and that drives people nuts. I think that fact, because then they see the scale go up, and it was probably a muscle gain. And if you actually measure too, like me, I went up 2 pounds, but my belly size went down an inch.
Yeah.
So, if it went up 2 inches, I'd say, holy crap, man, I'm doing something. But no, who cares the pound went up 2 pounds? You know what I'm saying? I went down. Lucia, we love interesting stories of docs looking dumbfounded. Yeah, John's got one there. He does. Susan, awesome to me. Yes. If you guys got more questions, make sure you ask John here. Key was taking a break from going out. I'm trained cook. We need to eat at home. Yeah, I feel like and plus too, like, I'll go to Culver's or something. I don't know if you guys got a Culver's, but I'll get like 3 patties and extra bacon, and I swear, like, I could have gotten 3 pounds of meat for those little patties and like those 2 little microwave pieces of bacon. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting on them, but like, I just feel like whenever I eat out, I could have gotten triple the food if I just would have went to the grocery store and cooked it myself. What do
Oh,
you
without a
think,
doubt.
John?
Without a doubt. I find it funny because I work in town. It's about a 45-minute drive home. And before the diet, I've been like, hey, let's stop at the Mexican restaurant. We'll get dinner tonight. Hey, let's stop over here. And now I'm like, heck no, I want the steak I got thawed out in the house. That's going to taste 100% better than any garbage I could pick up along the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got Bubba coming on here later, and he was saying how he feels like he's becoming a minimalist now. And he's like, man, if I would have been on this diet years ago, he says, I'd probably be loaded. He's like, I'm spending less. I'm like, me too, man. I agree.
That brings up a good point. So I was spending, there's 3 of us in the house, me, my wife, and my teenage daughter. I was spending on the average $800 a month on groceries before Carnivore. I spend on the average now about $400 on Carnivore.
So you cut your bill in half, your grocery bill?
I cut my grocery bill in half.
Wow. Do you have any chickens? Do you buy the eggs or do you get them?
I have chickens laying eggs, but I eat more eggs than they can produce.
That's scary too. Yeah. Yeah. And I envy you guys. I can't get a dang I don't have no chickens. I don't have a backyard big enough for even a single egg. But at least you got that's awesome. But eggs are what? They're like 69 cents a whole pack. So I mean, really,
I think they're up around $1.50 or so a pack right now. But they were up pretty high last year, but they've come back down in price. But I'll shop around to see if I can find a local farmer that's got eggs. I'll pick up store-bought eggs if I have to. I prefer homegrown eggs because they taste better. Mm-hmm. But when you shop around,
never had a homegrown egg.
What's that?
I've never had a homegrown egg. I've always just had the store-bought ones.
Oh man, we gotta bring you into the light.
I know, man. I'm watching you homesteaders. I'm trying to learn.
We got to find somebody up there near you to bring you some eggs. Somebody up there's got to be close. You can bring him some real eggs so you can taste what a real yolk tastes like.
I'm going to see if Carrie's got an extra one because he's got some chickens. I'm going to see Carrie's homestead on September 5th. He's going to let me tour the homestead.
There's no substitute for homegrown eggs. You'll wonder what you ever ate before.
He said the same thing, so I got to try it. Lucia, John, is there an addiction to the scale if it goes down, dopamine kick? Yeah, I would say the dopamine kicks in when you see that scale goes down. Probably is an addiction to see it go down.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think it's a bigger addiction when it goes up and that dopamine kicks in.
Start getting the muscle gain.
when you go in there and you're hoping for a down and you get an up, that really kicks you in the butt and gives you all kinds of issues. So
Yeah, it does. It really riles people up when that scale goes up to bragging. But I am best steak chef in 3 counties. Man, might have to take you up on that, man.
all right, where you at?
Yeah, where you at, Twin Maples?
Where are you at?
We want to know where the steak is. We have 8 laying hens, 2 pigs, 4 sheep. We'll have 4 freezer stuff this December. What does the animals look like on your homestead, John?
Currently, I just have chickens. I've raised hogs, and I had 300 acres under lease in Nevada that I was running cattle on. Before moving out here, and I've thought about it, but it's such a task to keep up with and have any freedom to do anything else that we really just haven't wanted to get back into any major agriculture. But we've thought about it back and forth. I'll probably grab some hogs if the price comes down and put them out back and let them raise up to put in the freezer. But I got deer on my property, so there's never a lack of carnivore goods in my area.
Yeah, get some good venison going, and you got a lot of cheap dinners there. I just I want to know, have you had any challenges? What have been some challenges since you started Carnivore?
Since I started Carnivore, I think the medicine has been a challenge. When July 10th, when my labs came back in, we bounced off that subject, but my A1C went from 7.1 or 2. I have to go back and look at the extra, but it was 7.1 or 2, and it's down to 5.7 as of that lab. That was one of the things that my doctor did agree to, is that we were coming completely off of metformin. And so I had to do that in stages, because coming directly off it caused my sugars to go crazy.
Really?
And so I ended up having to stage that out. So that was kind of a struggle, but I got through it, and I feel 100% better now. And then, I want to say it was late July or early August, my blood pressure got to a point that it was so low that I had to come off my blood pressure medicine. I had to start reducing it because I was going to work and I'd bend over and I start getting head rushes. And I monitor my blood pressure more, and I monitor my weight because I want to know where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm averaging right now, as of today, I think I'm averaging for the month like 128 over 73, 128 over 73, which is great. And I'm down to 1 pill of benzapril a day. I was taking 2, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, and I was taking HCTZ. And I got off of that. HCTZ, if anybody doesn't know this, and you really need to Google your medicine. HCTZ causes insulin resistance. This is a known fact. And so your doctor prescribes this to you for your blood pressure, and then the next time you go into the doctor, like, oh, your glucose levels are going up. They don't tell you they're going up because they gave you a medicine that caused it to go up. They just, your glucose levels are going up. And then you go on the next time, they're like, hey, you're getting up there pre-diabetic. We're going to put you on metformin. Well, they're putting you on metformin to offset what they gave you before. So you really,
their nonsense.
Yeah, you really need to look at what you're doing. And I tell people, you can't just trust anybody that they're giving you accurate information. I don't ask you to trust me. I wouldn't expect you to trust JT. I would say, go out there, do the research, and find out what works for you. Mm-hmm. Don't trust a doctor. Don't trust them. Not saying you can't go to a doctor if you have a trustworthy one, then do it. But you really need to follow up for yourself and find out, the side effects. I was on simvastatin years ago. Or not simvastatin. I was on Lipitor. And I lost a ton of weight. I got this thing. I was about 325 originally, and I decided I'm going to cut calories. I got Fitness Pal, and I'm going to cut this weight. I got an elliptical, and I was working out hard, and I dropped the weight, and I got down to, I want to say 260, 270. I posted a picture of it up on my video I posted today. That was my anniversary in, 2013, I think. And I was looking good. And I went to the doctor and said, hey, I'm on Lipitor 80 milligrams and I've lost all this weight. Should we be reducing my medicine? And he's like, that's a good idea. And he said, let's switch you out to 40 milligrams of simvastatin. And I said, okay, whatever. I didn't know anything better at the time. I was like, whatever the doctor says, I'm going to do. And so I started taking simvastatin. And then shortly thereafter, probably within a month or two of that doctor's visit, I started getting major muscle cramps. I mean, blood curdling, painful muscle cramps. That middle of the night, I'd wake up and I would just be in excruciating pain. And then I would go swimming and I get muscle cramps. I couldn't swim anywhere, and you're out there in the water and suddenly you're having a major muscle cramp, and you're in the middle of the water on it. And so I stopped swimming and I started having issues with, just basic exercises, these muscle cramps. And this went on, and I didn't know what it was. I went back to the doctor, and he didn't know what it was. He said I needed more electrolytes. I needed to work on my electrolytes and water. I wasn't consuming enough water, which I thought was weird because, I was drinking quite a bit of water. Mm-hmm. And I put on a lot of weight, and I got back up to, right around 300 or so by the time I moved to Tennessee in 2014. And after being in Tennessee for about a year or so, I went to the doctor I had here, and I said, well, let me back up. I forgot something in this. I actually got on Google, and that brings me back to my thing. Did you got to Google your medicine? I Googled and started looking at my medicine to see what the side effects were. And the side effects of simvastatin, it has many, but there's two that stand out. One is it causes you to causes excessive eating. It makes you hungry. And two, it causes muscle cramps.
Okay.
And most statins actually do cause muscle cramps. So, if you read into these things, they're absolutely horrible for you. And so I went to the doctor and said, look, I want to get off this stuff. I want to see if this fixes my problem. And he didn't agree with me, and he hemmed and hawed around it. And we had a good conversation for a better part, I don't know, 20 minutes. And he finally agreed that we were going to do it. And I came off the simvastatin, and it took a few weeks to a month before I started realizing that this was working. I was no longer having these massive cramps. They were getting better. But it took 6 months to a year before it really cleared up to the point where it wasn't excruciating every night. I mean, it just got to where I had it every once in a while. And I still had them, infrequently, maybe once or twice a month, up until Carnivore. And since I've been on Carnivore, they've pretty much gone away, but I still get them from time to time. And my personal perspective is that was damage caused by that drug that I'll probably have to live with for the rest of my life. But that's I'm just an advocate of it. You got to research what you're giving you, because my wife's a nurse, and we had this conversation, and she said, the doctors weigh the risks towards the benefits, and they'll do what they think benefits you. Mm-hmm. They won't necessarily tell you the risks. So you need to know. You have to go find out for yourself, because they're too busy, and very few doctors are going to provide you with all the information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're just going to move on to the next patient. Twin Maple says Virginia Northern Neck, close to the Chesapeake Bay. That's where he's at with that steak.
That's not far.
Yeah, he loves the venison too, John. Susan,
absolutely.
140 pounds, 65, year 1, 22nd year, 35th year. What are we reading? Slow losing, but my body was healing. Now I'm carnivore and the scale is moving again. That's great. I feel like all of us can get them scales moving again with the carnivore. John dropped mine from 9.7 to 5.4 in 4 months. That's great. Cool stuff. Yes.
Yeah, I would have probably been down around 5.4 if I hadn't been on HCTZ because of the insulin resistance that it was causing. And I expect when I go in to do labs, I may wait 6 months or so, and then I'll do my own labs, because you can actually go to LabCorp and pay for it yourself and have labs done anytime you want, by the way. I expect that number to be much lower.
Yeah, that's awesome. Homesick Buckeye. What's going on, family? What's going on, Russ? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Homesick Buckeye. I have a hard time with his name. Yeah, when are you coming down here for a steak?
Yeah, Russ, when you coming down, man? And when you go, I'll hop with you to John's place. I'm sure he'd have me. Susan, thank you. Susan Hamp, that's so awesome. Yes, you guys put a comment down there for John while he's here, and then smash that like button, break the thumb on that thing for his story, because that means it's gonna get out there. I reintroduced cheese to my diet this past week. Mistake. Knee and joint pain came back. John, what are your thoughts on cheese in the carnivore diet?
Yeah, I have mixed emotions on it because I eat some cheese from time to time and I haven't had any issues on it, but I have watched enough people who have said that they have.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes back to listening to your body. If your body reacts to what you're eating, don't eat it. You know, that's the great thing about this diet is it's ultimately the ultimate, restriction diet. You're taking everything out. You've dropped everything down to you're eating the basic essentials: meat, butter, bacon, eggs.
Mm-hmm.
These are essential nutrients they're providing your body. And then you can go back and try cream. You can go back and try dairy. You can go back and, eventually, I suppose, if you wanted to and you felt the need, you could go back and try some vegetables and stuff. And your body will tell you immediately. I ate something one day with some taco seasoning on it. It was hamburger and we made taco seasoning in it. And oh my goodness, it absolutely bent me over. I thought I was dying.
Wow.
Yeah, because my stomach did not want it.
Wow.
And since that day, we're not eating that anymore. There was, whatever was in that taco seasoning, my body said, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, I feel like with the carnivore diet, like the intuitive eating, I've never been more connected with my body saying with all the stuff I'm eating, oh, I like this, oh, I don't like that. And it feels good, man. Before I just was ignoring it. I'd eat the crap, feel like crap, and I was like, well, whatever. That's just what you're supposed to do. No, it's not,
Well, I was eating some pork skins that were spicy pork skins. Now there was no carbs in it, but after eating a few of them, my stomach was like, no, you don't want to eat these, and I stopped eating them.
What about pork rinds? Do you eat any pork rinds?
Well, that's what I said. I was eating pork rinds, but these were spicy pork rinds, and I love spicy stuff. But my body was like, no, we don't want this in here.
I literally just tried pork rinds yesterday for the first time in my life, and
really,
it was okay. I had butter flavored ones, no carbs or nothing. So
the thing about pork rinds is some of them are really good and some of them are not so good. Yeah. So you just, there's some brands I like and some of them are just like no flavor, pointless to eat.
What brand do you like?
Oh, that's a question I can't answer off the top of my head. I don't know. I know the label. Okay. I can't think of it off the top of my head. No, I know the bag from a distance, but
no, you're all good. Let's talk about something you can't answer. What's been your favorite benefit that personally to you since you started carnivore?
Health. Absolutely. Health.
What's specifically, like what's something that's improved that you really are enjoying?
So I no longer have back pain. I no longer have knee pains. I no longer have foggy head. I no longer have trouble sleeping at night. I don't wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go use the restroom. I wake up before my alarm clock, that's never happened in my life. I've lived the 4 alarm clock. You got one goes off in 15 minutes, another one goes off, and 15 minutes later, another one goes off because you got to keep moving me to get me up. Mm-hmm. So now I wake up normally about 5:30 and I'm wide awake, and ready to go. The other thing that has been interesting is I don't ever say this right, but I have, I want to say plantar fasciitis, whatever it is that, it's an inflammation of the tendon in your foot. And I have it in both feet, or had it in both feet, mm-hmm. up into a carnivore. I've dealt with that for years. Really? From standing on hard surfaces, concrete floors, whatnot, it irritates that, and it never really goes away. You can control it, but it's always there. It's always going to stick its ugly head out and be miserable for you. That's gone. I have no issues with that. It is completely gone. The weird things on carnivore that happened health-wise, all my skin tags disappeared. I don't know where they went. One day they were there, and the next day they weren't.
Dr. Barry did a video. He says it's from carbs, and he says people can pay a lot of money to have them removed. He said, or he says you could not pay him money because he makes a lot of money doing it. He says you just cut back on your carbs, and he says they'll just disappear.
And they do. They're gone. I had a whole bunch. Man. I had a whole bunch of them in my arms, in my armpits, and they're gone. Wow. And it's like, where did they go? Because if you've had them, and people out there that know what I'm talking about, if you had them, you get hot, you get sweaty, and you have skin tags, they get irritated and they become miserable. And so they're there, and suddenly they're not. You're like, what the heck happened there?
Wow.
Now here's a weird one, and I have picture proof of this. You see this color right here in my beard?
Yeah.
That was gray back in March. I got color back in my beard, and I have pictures to prove this.
Wow.
I don't. I mean, it didn't come back all together. Obviously, I still have gray, but this area right in here was gray as the rest of this, and I got color back in my beard. It was like, what the heck is that?
That's insane. What about snoring? Are you snoring?
I don't know. I don't wake up to find out.
Oh, your wife. Well, I think you might not be, because if your wife's not waking you up with the jab to the ribs, you might not be snoring.
I can tell you, my wife is not snoring.
Okay, see, now that's my wife stopped snoring after her third day.
Yeah,
on Carnivore.
And I've been married over 20 years here, so that was pretty surprising to me.
Yeah, and I'm sure
I don't want to get myself in the doghouse. We're not going to go any farther into that, but yeah, she sleeps much better and she's not snoring.
Yeah, no, my wife was a loud snorer, and I'm sure I was too. It's the inflammation in our bodies. Like, how can you help it? And Kerry was saying his doctor told him it was because he was fat. Well, come on, man. Like, it's the inflammation. To just tell people, well, you snore because you're fat. That seems like a really cop-out answer, in my opinion.
Well, it is. I mean, some of it's fat. Some of it's your tongue is fat.
Yeah, I have a big tongue, actually. It's my doctor says it's big.
So it's definitely a breathing and airway restriction, issue. And so I don't know. It runs in my family. My grandfather, you couldn't even be in the same room with him. He snored so bad.
My uncle, he'd sound like a damn motorcycle was ripping through the neighborhood when we go on fishing trips. And I'm like, dude, I cannot fish with this guy. Like, he keeps me up all goddamn night.
Oh man, I remember I don't remember if it was a camping or a hunting trip. It was probably a hunting trip, and I had my grandfather on one side and my dad on the other, and they were both cutting down the redwoods. And I just remember that whole entire night. I was like, I'm never going to sleep.
Oh, dude, no, that's you were me, dude, in that position. I seen on one of your videos you were talking about reading a carnivore book by Dr. Ken Berry. It was Lies My Doctor Told Me.
Yeah, I've started into it. I haven't got that far, to be honest.
But what do you think about it so far that what you did read so far?
It's 100%, correct. His starts off with basically explaining that that doctors don't have time to continuously stay up to date on all the modern new stuff coming out, and that's a fair assessment. I agree with that. I also believe that some doctors, and not all, but I believe some doctors, they just don't want to take time.
No, they just want to go to the next patient and make more money.
It's not that they don't have the time to do it. It's this, they don't want to take the time. The pharmaceutical companies, the insurance companies say, this is what we're doing, this is what you're making, and this is what you're going to prescribe. Yeah. And that's the ultimate breakdown in our medical system in this country is it's not you and the doctor, it's the insurance company and the pharmaceutical company that's controlling it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people just need to wake up and take control back for themselves, honestly. Twin Maples, Carnivore Homestead. Pork rinds might be a problem with the oil they're cooked in, seed oil. I didn't check the back on that.
I check mine and make sure that they're not, but that is a good point. You definitely want to make sure that they're actually fried in lard, which I don't understand why you would need to fry pig fat skin in anything other than lard, because that's where it starts. If you raise animals like me, I'm like, I know where that came from. So why do we have to switch over to
seed oil? Yeah.
Seed oil.
Yeah, that makes no sense. Susan Hampton, mine went away on keto. Are you talking about skin tags, girl? Because that would make sense, because keto is a low carb thing and carbs cause skin tags. So that makes sense. Twin Maples, my honey still snores, but it's much better than it used to be. We are both carnivore. Yeah, give it some time. And that's just one thing I've noticed. A lot of carnivores don't snore, man, for whatever damn reason. I think that's awesome. Like, that would be the next t-shirt Carrie makes. Carnivores don't snore. Twin Maples again. My doc has let me drop dosage or drop some totally. That's cool. Yeah. And then, but go by what you, like John says, how you're feeling, and then don't trust even your doctor or someone on YouTube. Do your research, right, John? And then then you can validate what that person might be saying is, you know, a good source.
And then you have to make a decision that affects your health. You know, you can go with what the doctor's saying. I'm not saying don't trust your doctor completely, but I'm just saying you need to question and look into what's going on.
Mm-hmm. No, it's 100%. Because then if you do your research too, and you could say, okay, I got a good doctor, you know, like if they, but
and
otherwise,
there's good ones out there. Obviously, Dr. Ken Berry, I wish he was my doctor. You know, I would imagine there'd be a line all the way around Nashville to get in to see him if he had an active practice right now that was taking in patients.
He should start a carnivore hospital. I'm telling you, man. That would be awesome. JT, love your patriotic style tonight. Yeah, thank you. I feel like it's still 4th of July for me, man. I love this country. Honestly, I do. We got homesteaders in this. We got abundance of steaks and everything. Like, how could you not like it here? You know? What would you say, John, to someone who's either afraid to start carnivore diet because they were told, you know, all this fatty meat, or they're just unsure and they're on the fence right now, you know, and they haven't started? What would you say to someone who's to get them take that leap?
I would say start. I would say do it. Try it for 30 days. And, you know, I would expect that when you hit 30 days, you'll want to do it for 30 more. And by the time you hit 60 days, you'll want to do it for 60 more. And you'll just keep going from there. You will feel the benefits of it right away. It's not one of those, you know, pie in the sky type, you know, diets where you got to do all this stuff and you may lose 5 pounds. This is going to have drastic effects immediately. And you're going to know it. If you're doing the diet honest and you're cutting the carbs, and you know you're cutting the seed oils, and you're honestly doing it for 30 days, I highly expect you'll keep doing it.
I just hit day 60 today. I cut a video of it, and I did my first review with my shirt off in the video, so you guys can expect that. Like I haven't taken my shirt off yet on my channel, and I still have a belly. You know, I've showed it, like I showed part of it in a clip, and people could see I still have a belly at like 173. But, you know, it's like, whatever, I got crap. People are like, well, how can you coach anybody if you still have a belly? Whatever, dude. I still lost 83 pounds. I still think I can give someone some tips, you know, on how to lose some weight, you know, regardless if I still have a belly. Let's see. Twin Maples here. There's a keto focused medical school based in Duke University. It's a whole branch wing at Duke. That's cool. I didn't know that. And hopefully we start getting some carnivore places like that, you know what I'm saying? Now let's talk your YouTube channel. What are some plans you got? Are you going to be doing homesteading and carnivore, or just carnivore?
Well, right now I'm obviously focused on carnivore. I got, you know, what I like to call carryitis. You know, I want to preach carnivore to everybody under the sun. And I hope he hears that from me, because that's exactly how I feel about it.
He does watch from time to time, so I'm sure he'll hear.
You know, I expect I will do some videos on building the cabin. I'm going to build a 1,100 square foot cabin on the property. I actually have a sawmill. The little cabin I'm living in now is about 80% made from trees off the property.
That's awesome.
You know, sawmilling with my little Hunter sawmill.
I did see that in a video. You were chopping up wood.
Yeah. So, you know, we're gonna focus in on it, but at this point right now, I'm just focused on carnivore, and then I'm gonna move in and start doing. You know, you'll probably see some aspects like the video today, where I was out on the tractor and I came up and talked about carnivore. You're gonna see some aspects like that.
That's a great way to mix them both, honestly. Honestly, that's a way for you to do the homesteading videos too, without actually just doing a dedicated homesteading video. Like, people get the point. Like, you're carnivore homesteader. Like, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I live, it's carnivore backwoods. I'm in the backwoods of East Tennessee, you know, right here in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. You know, that's the whole premise behind my channel. You might find me out fishing, you might find me out hunting, you might find me working on the homestead. I don't know. I'm going to post a bunch of stuff up there, whatever suits my fancy. You know,
yeah,
it'll come up.
Yeah, whatever. That's what I've been doing lately too. I've just, like, I could do how-to videos or whatever, but I've just, whatever I'm having fun with, that's what I'm putting on my channel. Someone watches it, they watch it. They don't. But I had fun making it.
Yeah,
And
I got to go up on the top of the property, up on the ridge, and I'm going to work myself in a food plot for deer. So I may post a video on that. I don't know yet. But that's things that I'm working on. I got a drone. We're going to do some stuff.
that's awesome. Susan, I forgot to count the days. It's been 2 months that I've been carnivore. Susan, I did want to make a suggestion because I was counting kept pulling my calendar out and stuff. There's an app here. You see it's got a little number 12 there. It says daily counter. And then when you click on that, let it load for a second here. Day counter. Let it load. And then boom, see it pops up. My wife's on day 36. I'm on day 60 today, like I just said. And it's cool. You put in the date that you start and you can either count down. So if let's say you put in October 31st, Halloween, and you can count down to how many days are left to Halloween. Or if you put in your start date of carnivore, it'll count up. So it either counts up or counts down. And I just found that a great way. I don't have to keep checking the calendar. I just look on this app and it tells me what day on carnivore I'm at. Just a little suggestion for you, Susan. Yeah.
I do it the hard school way, and I go on Google and I'm like, how many days since March 1st?
Yeah, no, yeah, and I was doing that too after I got sick of counting. But then I was like, wait a minute, I could just get an app and just look at the app and it tells me exactly what number.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's called Day Counter. It's got a little number 12 on there if anybody finds it. Twin Maples. I was born in Kingsport. ET rocks. Christine Shepard, just subscribe, John. Looking forward to watching more. Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff coming, and he's got a homestead property. Like I'm obsessed with homesteads. Okay, cool. Thank you. Here, let me pull up. I do want to pull up your channel here. Share the screen. Carnivore Backwoods. Boom. Here we go. Now, John, I tell this to everybody. It says I'm not subscribed because I'm not logged in. But this is John's page here, his YouTube channel, Carnivore Backwoods. Make sure you guys smash that subscribe button for John. And, man, I really like your thumbnails, John.
Well, one I had done by Fiverr, and the second one, the one I did today, I made myself.
Both of them are great. I like them both, honestly. I couldn't tell which one was made by Fiverr.
Yeah, the first one I had somebody at Fiverr do because I was trying to put that together and was struggling. But now I've figured out some things and I'm making my own.
This is the video I was talking about. I saw you saw.
Yeah, right, that's my sawmill. Yeah.
Yep. I saw that one. Yeah. And he shows you guys how to order the food from like Wendy's, from like McDonald's. It's great, man. I'm telling you, you guys are gonna want to go check that out. Let me go back here. So you did mention blood pressure a little bit. Could you just wrap up on that? Like, how is your blood pressure on carnivore?
My blood pressure on carnivore is probably the best it's ever been. Controlled or uncontrolled. I've always had high blood pressure, even when I was a kid. And like I said, I'm down to one pill a day. I think I'm averaging 128 over 73. I can pull it. It's on my phone. I'm using that for the live, but I have an app on my phone. I do my blood pressure. It automatically Bluetooths my phone and it keeps record of it. If I could, and I might do a video on that. I actually got a record that shows my blood pressure in March, my blood pressure in April, my blood pressure in, all the way through May, June, July. And you can watch it from March when I started, when I was 150 over, 99, 100, something like that. And every month it's dropped, and then you could see the points where I was down, and then it went up a little bit where I came off some medicine, and then it's continuously worked its way down, and I expect it will continue to work its way down. And my goal for this time next year is to be completely off any medication.
That's an awesome goal, dude. I love that goal, John. Twin Maples, I just subbed. Thank you for subbing to his channel, man.
Thank you very much.
Everybody, if you guys could go on over his channel and sub, that'd be awesome. Nice, John. Cut my BP meds, almost gone.
Outstanding.
That's great, dude. Yeah, let's pull this up here again here. Yeah, subscribe. Carnivore Backwoods. You guys, he's a great guy. He's putting himself out there, and he's giving great tips, like do your research, listen to your body, and try it, try it for a couple of days, right, John? Like, give yourself a chance to maybe feel good.
Yeah,
Or
yeah, do 30 days. I mean, you're going to have to be 30 days before you're really into it. I mean, the first 2 weeks are going to be a little rough because it's going to give you a lot of bathroom time. I mean, that's just part of it. You got to get all that junk out of your system. You know, some people have it, some people don't. I got a couple friends that are doing it and they really haven't had that issue. You know, that's great. But I would say 30 days minimum, and preferably 90 days. You know, by the time you hit that point, you're going to be all in.
yeah, my coach would say do anything for 90 days and you'll probably do it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I really believe that, because I'm on day 60 and I'm already feeling like, why do I want to go back to IBS? And, you know, even my back pain's gone, John. I used to have a 3 discs in my back there. I still probably do, but they just don't hurt now.
Yeah. Yeah. That is my biggest thing. I'm going to talk to somebody. I don't care if I lose another pound. I just want to be healthy. The way I feel now is amazing. You know, weight loss is an added bonus at this point. It really doesn't affect me whether I lose any more weight or not. I want to be healthy and I want to feel this way, you know, and it's amazing. And you can't describe it to any way. You can't explain anything. Everybody will roll their eyes in their head if you try to explain everything that's going on.
You're just trying to sell it. Honestly, I'm not, there's nothing to sell here. Like,
I just want you to try it and you'll know what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I'm right with you, because I get people, they're like, well, it's selling it. I ain't selling nothing. I got nothing. This ain't Weight Watchers, you know, like.
Yeah, it's not a matter of selling. I'm excited about what I've discovered. You know, I want to make sure everybody has the opportunity to discover it. Whether or not you do it, that's on you. You know?
Yeah, if you want to feel good, that's on you. But, you know, it's like that saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
That's exactly what I was just thinking. I was going to say it too. So you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You know?
we were speaking on vibrations there. Twin Maples, I started on carnivore after a few months of keto, no real issues. Did you ever do keto, John?
I never did keto. No.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Keto didn't impress me.
I heard about it, and I heard, you know, everything I heard about keto before was basically don't eat buns. You know, you're going to go to McDonald's and get burgers. You know, and I'm like, I just don't get it. You know, It didn't really make sense, and you know, and I really didn't deep dive into it, obviously, but you know, from what I was talking to people that were doing it, that was basically we're eating, you know, we're not eating carbs. You know, we're not eating breads. We're not doing it. We're still eating vegetables, but we're not eating breads. You know, and so it just never really intrigued me as something that I wanted to look into. No. But when you told me that I could lose weight by eating beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, I was like, well, I got to check this out. And you know, that's the funny thing is, think about how close you've been to eating healthy and not. You ate beef, you ate butter, you ate bacon, you ate eggs. These were normal things in your life, but then you threw in the bread, you threw in the ice cream, you threw in the candy, you threw in the Coca-Cola, the Mountain Dew, all these other things that were hurting you. And then the world's been trying to convince you that the meat was the problem.
That reminds me of my coach. He was saying, you know, because it was right in front of us the whole time. And my coach would always say, no matter what you're trying to do, you already have what you need to get what you want. And that saying would always just drive me nuts, because I'm like, how do I already have what I need to get what I want? Well, it's true with the carnivore diet. We've already, since I've been a baby, there's been steaks available. There's been bacon available. There's been eggs since I was born. And before I was born, like, I've always had what I needed to get what I want, which was my health. And I want to encourage you guys too out there, everybody. My coach, he's right, man. As crazy as that sounds, we already have what we need to get what we want, which is our willpower, our ability to make good decisions and think for ourselves and do our research, like John was saying. Like, and we have access to the meat at the stores or wherever. Like, we literally have what we need to get what we want.
Think about it this way. This is all about nutrition. It's not about the meat. It's not about the fat. It's about what your body can fuel itself on. It's nutrition. I can take a horse in a field that looks like it's about to die, and if I change its nutrition and bring up its nutrition, it will heal. Its coat will shine. It will be back into a vibrant life. And it's all based on nutrition, and we're all that way. And so if you can find the nutrition that feeds your body, it will heal a lot of things. And that's what this comes down to. Meat is a superfood. It's got the nutrition. Eggs have always been a superfood. It's got the nutrition.
Yep. Well, I hope you guys had fun. Make sure you subscribe to John's channel, Carnivore Backwoods. I know I'm going to be keeping up with you. I cannot wait to see you. Maybe even cut a steak on that that tractor, man. Just eat right on the tractor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. We need to do this more. We'll have to get together for another live sometime.
For sure, because what I do with all my guests, I want to bring them back for an update video. So
absolutely, yeah. Just let me know.
Cool. Well, you guys, I always say there's repetition. There's value in repetition because the first law of learning is repetition, and there's value in John, and there's value in his story. So please replay this and smash the like button for him. Help him get his story out there, and subscribe to his channel, Carnivore Backwoods, right there. But I got to get going to the next interview. John, I had a great time, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll see you on the next one, guys.
JT, I appreciate this time with you, bud.
No problem.